Hi, welcome back to Journey into Stories. Today I'm going to be doing, we'll put it under weekly check-in, or was it all the books I read in April? I'm behind. I did a little bit of a life update in my book haul that just got done filming. So if you want to know what's been going on, we just had a unexpected loss in our family in the month of April at the end, and then a health thing with myself that I'm maneuvering through, I guess. So that's what's been going on, but I'm going to do, we'll just say weekly check-in or for the month of April, because a lot of these were read in April. I have a few here that I read physically, and then I listened to one or two on Audible and Libby. Libby's a go-to app for me. So it's been a long time, so I'm going to have to read a little bit synopsis of each book, because I was going through what I marked as read and my ratings of some of these books, and I'm here to tell you I don't even remember. I can't even remember some of these books, and it shows in the rating that I gave. But let's get started. Now, in my book haul, I did mention that I picked up the Signs from Pets in the Afterlife by Lynn Reagan. And immediately I wanted to read this. It's very short, 100 and some pages in one sitting. But something happened when we lost one of our Bostons, and I wanted to know, am I, crazy looking into more of this as a sign that he's okay, over the Rainbow Bridge. But so this was just a huge group of stories that talks about when people have lost their fur babies. From, I think, a parrot to cats, dogs, all kinds of things. I think there was even one about a horse, if I remember. Signs from beloved pets are seen by thousands every day. Some communications are received in ways that do require an acute awareness as well as more interpretation. From the heavens above, signs are shared by deceased pets to connect with their family that they left behind. Many times these gifts are unseen and are difficult to identify. And again, it goes through a variety of what happened with the loss of certain animals, and then symbolism of things. And it was really good for what it was about. I did give it 4 stars. I enjoyed all of it that I read. There was even a story that related to what happened with me with my little Boston Terrier that died a month shy of 16, actually. But he had many health issues towards the end of his life. But yeah, this was really heartwarming to read about, because I always want to believe there's something else out there, and look at signs and different things. So enjoyed the heck out of reading this. The next book, I had to immediately, when I found out that the second book to this came out, I had to pick it up immediately. But it's The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. She's a lawyer. I can't think of her name. Sarah Morgan is a defense attorney. And at 33, she's partner in her firm, and life is going exactly as planned. Her husband, Adam, is struggling with success. I think he was a writer, so he's having trouble in his career. And what happens is they have a second home. Yeah, a second home, I think, by a lake. And Adam is having an affair. He has a mistress. One day she ends up murdered, and Sarah becomes his defense attorney. I'm not going to say I couldn't do it, but wow. you know, for a wife to defend her husband that's up for murder and his mistress is dead and you're going through all of that. And how it ends, I was left with my jaw on the floor. So I had to buy the second book. I'm excited to get to it. Here's my bookmark. Very excited to get to it. Wanting to read this also on our road trip that we took. I did read a lot of it. I was going to try and do a whole video of spending the night at Buc-ee's, but it didn't work out. I'm a rule follower, and you know, we had a little permission, but not for the whole night, and I just thought it'd be something wild and crazy. And also, the reason I picked this book up is they're celebrating, I think, their 10th anniversary. And my husband and I just celebrated our 29th wedding anniversary. I thought, well, this would be a perfect book to read. You know, a couple says the perfect marriage. What could go wrong? And they're celebrating their anniversary. And so that's why I chose it. I knew it was going to be a thriller. But I just am like, well, everybody thinks they have the perfect marriage, but do they really? I mean, you know, perfect is in whatever a person thinks. So this was a 5-star. Loved every second of this book. It was fast paced. I loved it all. I couldn't put it down. And, you know, when I had to put it down to go do something, I was annoyed. I loved this book. Loved it a lot. So if you haven't picked up The Perfect Marriage, this is a high recommendation. I definitely would. And I'll let you know what I think of the second book, which is The Perfect Divorce. Okay, this book, I haven't even rated it yet. I don't know what to give it. It's The Groomer by John Athen. And this is one of the books over on my shelf that I wanted to read in 2025, so I'm glad I got through it. It also was very fast-paced. It just gets you immediately, this book, of, oh my God, what is really happening here? At the beginning of the book, there's somebody meeting a child, I think at a park, after talking. And you know, the internet, it's a very scary place it can be. This child meets this individual and then something goes wrong. The actual book, you get snippets of a couple of stories of children and whatever's going on. And then there's a main focus on one family, a father who is trying to figure out what happened with his daughter that goes missing. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. I love the writing. I felt like I was watching a movie while I was reading it. It was very descriptive, very just in your face with everything. I felt like the writing and the story itself is 5 stars, but yet something's bothering me about it. And maybe it's rating a type of book like this 5 stars. But it really was good. But I'm still debating, what do I rate it? Because I have no idea. I really don't know. It has a warning right here. This book contains graphic content. Reader discretion is advised. So that's nice that there's a warning on this. I enjoyed it, but it sounds so weird to say I enjoyed it. It's a lot. You know, and I was talking to somebody and they're like, well, what did you think it was going to be? It's called The Groomer. I loved it, but not for certain parts of the book. But I just have mixed feelings on this. I left it unrated on my thing. I think I read this like the beginning of April, and looking on my Goodreads, I'm like, I still haven't rated it yet. What would I rate it? Because I don't want to be weird and say, oh my God, I give it 5 stars. Because some of the things in here could be very disturbing, and they are very disturbing, but yet, you know, it's a story. So I don't know. But I'm glad I got to it. I'm glad I read it. it's not a book I would have DNF'd. So my mind is messed up to be able to read this. I don't know. It was good for the story that it was. This is not going to persuade me not to read anything from this author, because I really would pick up something else. It left me with some nightmares. Let's just say that, because things that other people find scary don't necessarily are scary to me, but real life type things that could happen, that's scary. And being a parent with kids that are everything to me, that's scary. So, if you want to pick this up, maybe look at what the warnings are on this. It doesn't say the warnings, but it was really, really good for what it was. Frightening. There you go. Frightening. Okay, the next book I read is We Spread by Ian Reid. And the other book I enjoyed by this author is I'm Thinking of Ending Things. So this is also a book that I wanted to get through for 2025. And this is about Penny, an artist, has lived in the same apartment for decades, surrounded by the artifacts and keepsakes of her long life. Before her longtime partner passed away, years earlier, provisions were made, unbeknownst to her, for a room in a unique long-term care residence where Penny finds herself after one too many incidents. So she ends up in a assisted living home, and with, I believe there were, it was very small, just a few other residents, maybe 5 or 6, if I remember correctly. And this book also was everything to me. I gave it 5 stars. I loved this book. I'll read anything by this author, Ian Reid. It just was a good time. And it was, you literally could sit down and read it in one sitting. It was so fast paced, just bigger writing, bigger font that you could read, and love this book. So 5 stars, We Spread, Ian Reid. It was also my second 5-star book of the month, and I'm happy that I got to read it sooner than later. Okay, this book, One Day in December by Josie Silver. I have wanted to read this forever and ever. I kept checking it out on Libby, and then I started to read it physically, and by the time my audiobook came through, I did half and half. But it's about a girl. Lori is pretty sure love at first sight doesn't exist anywhere outside of the movies. But then through the mist on a bus window one snowy December day, she sees a man that she knows instantly is the one. Their eyes meet, there's a moment of pure magic, and then her bus drives away. And then going through the book and the story, does she ever find busboy, or what happens with that? And I loved the love story. It also was a good friendship story in this book. It goes through many, many years. So this was, what did I rate it? Now that I'm thinking about it, I should give it 5 stars. I loved this book. Maybe I had 3 5-stars. Hang on, or 4. You know what? It was a good reading month. Let me see what I rated this. All right, we'll rate it 4 stars. I love this book. I have good memories of reading it and listening to it at the same time. And it just, again, it was a book that I didn't want to put down. I also read A Winter in New York by Josie Silver, and I love that book. So this is another author that I would pretty much pick up any of her books. So enjoyed my time with Josie Silver. Okay, this Happy Place by Emily Henry. Again, this, I mean, do you love the pink? I sure do. This was also a book I wanted to get through in 2025. And because I picked this up, I realized I'm 2 books behind in her books to pick up. This is a group of friends that are very close, and one of the couples in the midst of the friendship. Harriet and Wynne have been the perfect couple since they met in college. They go together like salt and pepper, honey and tea, lobster and rolls. Except now, for reasons they're still not discussing, they don't. They broke up 5 months ago and still haven't told their best friends. And that's all I'm going to read about that. They have a get-together. They go away to one of the friends' homes. Then they have to figure things out. And do feelings arise between Harriet and Wynne after they've been broke up for a half a year? It just was so good, so good. I gave it 4 stars. I don't know why I didn't give it 5 stars, honestly. Yes, I do. I remember. I gave this 4 stars, but the cover, the pink, I love it. And I've loved every book from Emily Henry that I've read. So I'm excited to pick up her 2 newer books that I haven't read yet. So if you haven't read Happy Place, pick it up. I mean, the cover, just for the cover, is so pretty. I love this pink. Okay, now I'm going to look on my Goodreads because there were other books I read. A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. This book I do not own. A woman invited to her wealthy fiance's family retreat realizes they are hiding a terrible secret and that she's been there before, by the best-selling author of What Lies in the Woods. A whirlwind romance when Theodora Scott met Connor, wealthy, charming, and a member of the powerful Dalton family. She fell in love in an instant. 6 months later, he's brought her to Idlewood, his family's isolated winter retreat, to win over his skeptical relatives. Stay away from Connor Dalton. Theo has tried to ignore the threatening messages on her phone, but she can't ignore the footprints in the snow outside the cabin window or the strange sense she has about this place. Then, in a disused cabin, Theo finds something impossible, a photo of herself as a child. Oh, I do remember this. I'm not going to read anything else. I did give this book 4 stars. Boy, I sure liked this book, didn't I? I gave it 4 stars. I remember it. But A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. Okay. So that was a 4-star read. I don't own it. All right, this one is Love Mom by Ileana Alexander. And this was an Audible book that I chose, but it kept popping up in my social media. A best-selling author, a mother, a murderer. Mackenzie Casper is a brilliant student. She is best known for her mother, a best-selling author whose dark, twisted thrillers have dedicated worldwide fan base. But when her mother dies in an accident, fans across the world are left grieving, and the investigators are asking, was that really an accident? Mysterious envelopes keep arriving to Mackenzie. Everything is signed Love Mom. This was really a good book. I did give it 3 stars. I probably could give it 4. Look how easy of a grader I am. I did enjoy this book a lot. I think I guessed a portion of it, but and I don't like guessing a portion. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I just want something to come out of the blue. But yeah, I gave this 3 stars. I have fond memories of it, and I own it on Audible now, so that's good. I'll maybe listen to it again. This book, this is The Vanishing by Wendy Webb. It says I gave it 3 stars. Recently widowed and rendered penniless by her Ponzi scheming husband, Julia Bishop is eager to start anew. So when a stranger appears on her doorstep with a job offer, she finds herself accepting. The mysterious yet unique caretaker to his mother, Amaris Sinclair, the famous and rather eccentric horror novelist whom Julia has always admired and who the world believes is dead. When she arrives at Sinclair's enormous estate on Lake Superior, Julia begins to suspect that there may be a sinister undercurrents to her too good to be true position. As Julia delves into the reasons of why Amaris chose to abandon her successful writing career and withdraw from the public eye, her search leads to unsettling connections to her own family tree, making her wonder why she really was invited to Havenwood in the first place and what monstrous secrets are still held prisoner within its walls. I don't own it, so I had to have listened to it. Maybe, when does it say I read this? April 22nd. Well, that was during a really hard time in family life. So maybe that's why. Maybe my brain was somewhere else, obviously, because I don't remember that. But I gave it 3 stars. Here's another one. The Night We Lost Him by Laura Dave. Boy, I hope I never have to go back and do this again. I'd like to do my weekly, monthly check-ins up to date. Nora Noon's father, Liam, was many things to many people. To the public, he was a self-made hotel magnate whose luxury boutique hotels were among the most coveted destinations in the world. To his 3 ex-wives, he was a loving yet distant family man who managed to keep his finances and family separate. But to Nora, her father was always a mysterious, especially after his suspicious death at his cliffside home. I do remember this. Yay for me. Though the authorities rule Liam's death accidental, Nora and her strange brother Sam believe otherwise. Yes, so they kind of do their own investigation to figure out what happened. I remember it, but I didn't rate it very good. I gave it 2 stars. It averages 3.61. And that's like 75,000 ratings. So, and then I'm about to start Mommy Dearest for the Mother's Day weekend. I can't think of a better book, but I already charted it on my thing. So Happy Place, We Spread, The Night We Lost Him, Signs from Pets in the Afterlife, One Day in December, The Vanishing of Wendy Webb, The Groomer, Love Mom, A Killing Cold, and The Perfect Marriage. I think that's, 10 books. I didn't have the best reading month of April. But Friends, we're all caught up now. So I'm going to try and do better. But that's it. That's it, guys. So I have a couple of videos that I want to do. One is going to take, I don't know if I'm going to try and take the entire month of May or June to do. But it's a long one. It would be a long one, and hopefully we can condense it because nobody has time to watch a very long one. It's something a little different that I've never done before. And then Mommy Dearest. I'm going to start on Mommy Dearest probably right after this video because I want to get it read and get it up, hopefully Mother's Day. We're caught up. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything in life is going good for you. If anything, I've realized, not that I didn't know this before, but life really could be short. Hold your people extra close to you that means something. Be kind with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind with one another. Read something amazing. Go do something fun. And until the next video, I'll see ya. Have a great day. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.